You're driving through rural America, and you see horse-drawn buggies sharing the road with modern cars. You wonder, what happens when someone who doesn't look like them enters their world? The answer might surprise you. The encounter: most Americans have never actually met an Amish person. We see them in movies, on television, or catch glimpses of their buggies from our car windows. But what really happens when an African-American family pulls into an Amish farm stand, or when a black visitor needs help on a rural Pennsylvania road? The truth is more complex than most people imagine. These encounters happen every single day across America, in places like Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, Holmes County, Ohio, and dozens of other Amish settlements scattered across 28 states. But here's what's fascinating. The Amish have been navigating relationships with people who don't look like them for over 2 centuries. As early as 1809, Amish farmers were working side by side with Native American farmers in Pennsylvania. This wasn't coincidence, this was choice. Behind closed doors, when outsiders aren't watching, something remarkable happens in Amish communities. There are documented instances of Amish communities collaborating with black communities on projects that never make the headlines. After Hurricane Katrina, Amish construction crews traveled south to help rebuild homes. They didn't ask about the color of the families they were helping. During barn raisings and community disasters, Amish communities have opened their doors to anyone willing to pick up a hammer. These aren't publicity stunts. These are quiet acts of service rooted in their deepest theological beliefs. The Amish believe that every person is created in God's image. This isn't just Sunday morning theology for them. It's how they approach every human interaction. When an Amish farmer sees someone in need, the question isn't about race. The question is about human dignity. Their actions speak louder than any official statements ever could. In agricultural partnerships, Amish farmers have worked alongside black farmers, sharing knowledge about sustainable farming practices and traditional crop rotation methods. These relationships develop over years, built on mutual respect and shared work ethic. The adoption reality. But perhaps the most surprising aspect of Amish communities is what happens behind closed doors when it comes to family. In Holmes County, Ohio, one of the largest Amish settlements in America, there are documented cases that challenge every assumption about these communities. An unmarried Amish woman adopted an African-American child, raising him within the community with full acceptance from her neighbors. In another remarkable case, an Amish bishop's sister and her husband adopted 4 biracial children. When asked about their decision, they simply said they wanted children to lavish love on. These aren't isolated incidents. Across Pennsylvania, there's been a foster care program operating for years that places children of incarcerated mothers into Amish and Mennonite homes. Some of these children are African American. Some of these foster arrangements become permanent adoptions. The most extraordinary part? These children grow up fully integrated into Amish society. They learn Pennsylvania Dutch, the German dialect spoken in Amish homes. They attend one-room schoolhouses, help with farm chores, and participate in all community activities. Their skin color doesn't make them outsiders. Their upbringing makes them insiders. Consider the historical case of Moses Shirley, born into slavery in Virginia in 1791. Bishop Jacob Schenck converted Shirley to the Amish faith. Shirley later moved to Ohio, where he was ordained as a minister in the Amish church. His descendants are still active in Amish communities today, over 2 centuries later. This challenges the narrative that Amish communities are closed to racial diversity. The reality is more nuanced. While the vast majority of Amish people are of European descent, the community's religious principles don't exclude people based on race. The barriers to joining aren't racial. They're cultural and linguistic. To become Amish, regardless of your background, you must learn Pennsylvania Dutch, embrace the community's beliefs and lifestyle, and commit to baptism. You must give up modern conveniences, adopt plain dress, and accept the authority of church leaders. These requirements are the same whether you're black, white, or any other ethnicity. The challenge isn't acceptance. The challenge is adaptation. Imagine giving up your smartphone, your car, your modern job, and learning a language spoken by fewer than 400,000 people worldwide. Most people, regardless of race, find these requirements too demanding, the invisible barriers. But the story isn't entirely positive. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, many Amish churches adopted segregation policies that prohibited African Americans from joining their communities. This wasn't born from theological beliefs. This was protective adaptation to the racist climate of the time. The Amish, as pacifists, avoid conflict whenever possible. During America's most racist periods, accepting black members might have brought violence to their communities. Their choice was pragmatic, not prejudicial. They were protecting themselves from the racism and discrimination that was prevalent throughout American society. This policy quietly ended in the mid-1900s without fanfare or official announcements. The Amish don't make public declarations about social issues. They simply change their practices and move forward. The language barrier remains the most significant obstacle today. Pennsylvania Dutch isn't taught in public schools. It's not available on language learning apps. The only way to truly master it is through daily immersion in Amish households. This creates a natural filtering system that has nothing to do with racial prejudice and everything to do with cultural preservation. Consider the practical realities. Amish worship services are conducted in a mixture of German and Pennsylvania Dutch. Religious texts are often in formal German. Community discussions happen in the dialect. Without fluency, meaningful participation becomes impossible. The cultural requirements extend beyond language. Amish communities operate on unwritten rules called the Ordnung, which governs everything from clothing styles to acceptable technology. These rules vary between communities and change gradually over time. Learning them requires years of observation and gradual integration. Modern encounters. Today's interactions between Amish communities and black visitors happen most commonly through business relationships. Amish farmers sell produce at markets frequented by diverse customers. Amish furniture makers, quilt shops, and restaurants serve people of all backgrounds without distinction. These commercial interactions reveal something important about Amish attitudes. Customer service doesn't discriminate. An Amish vendor treats a black family shopping for fresh vegetables with the same courtesy extended to white customers. Money isn't black or white. Quality craftsmanship speaks universally. Tourism creates another intersection point. Thousands of African American families visit Amish communities each year, particularly in Lancaster County and Holmes County. They take buggy rides, tour working farms, and purchase handmade goods. The Amish accommodate these visitors professionally and respectfully. However, the Amish prefer not to be approached by strangers with personal questions about their lifestyle or religious beliefs. This preference applies to all visitors, regardless of race. Many Amish object to having their photographs taken, believing it violates biblical commandments about graven images. These boundaries aren't racial, they're cultural. The key difference lies in understanding versus intrusion. Respectful observation is welcome. Aggressive questioning or photography without permission crosses community boundaries. Black visitors who understand these unspoken rules find themselves welcomed warmly. Those who don't, regardless of race, may encounter cool reception. In emergency situations, racial considerations disappear entirely. When someone needs help on rural roads where Amish communities are located, assistance comes without hesitation. Flat tires, mechanical breakdowns, or medical emergencies bring out the Amish commitment to neighborly aid. The deeper truth. The deeper truth about how Amish communities treat black visitors reveals something profound about human nature. When communities organize around shared values rather than shared appearance, different dynamics emerge. Amish acceptance or rejection isn't based on skin color. It's based on commitment to community standards. This creates a unique social environment where racial prejudice becomes secondary to cultural compatibility. The children adopted into Amish families face the same choice every Amish young person confronts during Rumspringa, the traditional period of exploration before baptism. They can choose to join the church or leave the community. This choice is available regardless of ethnic background. When adopted children choose to remain Amish, they become full community members with all associated rights and responsibilities. When they choose to leave, They face the same consequences as any other young person who decides against baptism. Their ethnicity doesn't influence these outcomes. The pacifist principles that define Amish communities extend to racial interactions. Violence, discrimination, and hatred contradict core Amish beliefs. While individual prejudices may exist, as they do in any human community, the institutional framework discourages racist behavior. Community accountability plays a crucial role. Amish settlements are small, interconnected societies where reputation matters enormously. Public displays of racism would damage someone's standing within the community. Social pressure reinforces theological principles. The emphasis on humility and service creates natural barriers to racist attitudes. Amish communities value hard work, mutual aid, and collective responsibility over individual achievement or superiority. These values don't align with racial prejudice. The economics of acceptance. Money tells its own story about Amish attitudes toward people of different backgrounds. In the bustling farmers' markets of Lancaster County and Holmes County, Amish vendors depend on customers from every demographic. African American families constitute a significant portion of their customer base, particularly for organic produce, handcrafted furniture, and traditional quilts. The Amish approach to business reveals their practical philosophy about human relationships. Quality craftsmanship speaks louder than skin color. When a Black family purchases an Amish-made dining table that will last generations, the transaction represents more than commerce. It represents trust, respect, and mutual benefit. Construction crews offer another window into Amish attitudes. When Amish builders work on homes and businesses, they often employ English workers to supplement their labor force. These mixed crews include people of various racial backgrounds working alongside Amish craftsmen. The focus remains on skill, reliability, and work ethic rather than ethnic background. Agricultural partnerships extend beyond simple commerce. Some Amish farmers participate in cooperative arrangements with non-Amish farmers, including African Americans, sharing equipment, knowledge, and labor during busy seasons. These relationships develop over years, built on mutual respect and shared agricultural challenges. The tourism industry provides steady income for many Amish families. Bed and breakfast establishments, guided farm tours, and craft workshops serve diverse visitors throughout the year. African American tourists consistently report positive experiences, noting the genuine hospitality and absence of racial tension they encounter in most Amish establishments. Restaurant businesses operated by Amish families serve customers without distinction. The famous family-style restaurants found throughout Amish communities treat every patron equally, serving the same generous portions and traditional recipes, regardless of who sits at the table. Food becomes a universal language that transcends racial boundaries. The children's stories. The most compelling evidence of Amish attitudes toward racial diversity comes from the children themselves. Those African American and biracial children adopted into Amish families carry unique stories that challenge conventional wisdom about both race and religion in America. These children grow up bilingual, speaking English in school and Pennsylvania Dutch at home. They master traditional skills like farming, carpentry, and quilting alongside their Amish siblings. They attend the same one-room schoolhouses, participate in the same community events, and follow the same religious practices as any other Amish child. The transition isn't always seamless. Some adopted children struggle with questions of identity as they mature, wondering where they fit between their biological heritage and their chosen community. Amish families address these challenges with characteristic directness, emphasizing that family bonds transcend biological connections. During Rumspringa, these young people face unique pressures. They explore not only whether to join the Amish church, but also how to navigate their racial identity in the broader world. Some choose to remain Amish, becoming ministers, teachers, and community leaders. Others choose to leave, pursuing higher education or careers in the English world. Those who stay often become bridges between their Amish communities and the outside world. Their presence helps normalize diversity within traditionally homogeneous settlements. Their children grow up in families where racial differences are simply part of normal life rather than sources of tension or curiosity. The success stories are remarkable. Several adopted children have become respected members of Amish church leadership. Others have started businesses that serve both Amish and English communities. Their achievements demonstrate that talent and character matter more than ancestry in determining life outcomes within Amish society. Education plays a crucial role in their development. While Amish schools typically end at 8th grade, some adopted children receive additional support to pursue vocational training or higher education if they choose to leave the community. This support reflects the Amish commitment to preparing young people for whatever path they choose. The story of how Amish communities treat Black visitors isn't simple. It's not a tale of perfect acceptance or complete rejection. It's something more complex and more human. The Amish have created communities where cultural barriers matter more than racial ones, where commitment to shared values trumps shared ancestry, where the color of your skin matters less than the content of your character and your willingness to embrace a dramatically different way of life. This doesn't mean Amish communities are racial utopias. It means they've organized society around different principles than mainstream America. In a nation still grappling with racial divisions, there might be lessons worth learning from these quiet communities that prioritize faith, family, and service over the superficial differences that often divide us. The next time you see an Amish buggy sharing the road with modern traffic, remember that inside that simple vehicle sits someone whose community has been quietly working through America's racial complexities for over 2 centuries. Not perfectly, but persistently. Not loudly, but lovingly. Sometimes the most profound changes happen not through legislation or protests, but through the quiet daily choices of people committed to treating every human being as worthy of dignity, respect, and love.